Today I'm reviewing the Samsung Q-Series Soundbar HW-Q600F 3.1.2 CH with Subwoofer, 2026 model. If at any point you want to check current pricing or availability, it's linked below. I've lived with this soundbar in a typical living room setup over the past couple of weeks, watching movies, streaming shows, gaming, and regular TV listening. This review reflects how it feels in everyday use rather than what the spec sheet claims. Let's set expectations early. This is not a dedicated home theater surround rig with separate rear speakers. It's not going to replace a multi-channel AV receiver plus discrete speakers. And it's not going to produce floor-shaking bass without support. What it is a mid-tier 3.1.2 soundbar designed to give you better TV audio with high effects, low-end support from a wireless subwoofer, and sensible room optimization. One of the first things I noticed was how dialogue comes through. Compared with typical TV speakers, voices feel clearer and more present without needing constant volume tweaks during shows or movies. High effects from the Atmos channels are noticeable but modest. You get a sense of vertical motion in supporting Atmos content, not an overwhelming dome of sound, but a believable extra layer compared with basic horizontal delivery. The included wireless subwoofer adds low-frequency weight. It doesn't rumble like large dedicated subs, but for explosions, music low-end, and action cues, it gives more authority than the soundbar alone. Volume levels are practical for a medium living room. You can feel impact without bass overtaking mid-range clarity. Sound tuning through Adaptive Sound and SpaceFit Sound Pro helps it adapt to room acoustics. In everyday listening, sound seems balanced instead of overly emphasized in one band. Rooms with moderate furniture and typical walls didn't reveal harsh brightness or muddied bass when SpaceFit was active. Connection and usability are straightforward. HDMI ARC handles multi-channel formats without you needing to compromise quality. Bluetooth streaming works reliably for casual music playback. Setup doesn't involve complicated menus or accessories, which keeps everyday use simple. Thermals aren't a factor, there are no fans and the electronics stay quiet in normal use. Now the real limitations. This isn't a true surround system with discrete rear channels. For movies where sound moves behind you, this soundbar creates a sense of space, but it's not the same as having physical surround speakers filling the room. If your room is large or very open, the impact and presence roll off sooner than discrete systems. This design works best in small to medium living spaces where the bar sits central to viewing and listening. Compared with simpler 2.1 soundbars, the height channel effects and tuning tech here feel like meaningful upgrades. You notice extra depth and presence in Atmos content that you don't get from basic bars. Compared to high-end separate speakers or AV systems, it's obviously less powerful and flexible, but it doesn't cost as much or require as much space or wiring. Where this makes the most sense is for buyers who want a clear step up from TV speaker audio, prefer a simple, integrated soundbar plus sub setup, value height effects and adaptive tuning. Use a small to medium living room if your priority is immersive rear surround or very deep bass. A full surround setup with a separate subwoofer and ADR will still outperform this. Overall, the Samsung HW-Q600F feels purpose-built. It balances dialogue clarity, bass support, and spatial cues without overhyping what it does. Check current pricing below and evaluate it against your needs.